Hello, and welcome to this final video on using Blender 2.79 for video editing. I've made the decision to stop creating more content specifically for Blender 2.79 because it's getting old. The new versions of Blender have so many improvements, and I did complete most of what I had set out to do. We didn't get around to green screening, but you know what? I think most of us can probably move on. I don't know how many people are still even using Blender 2.79. I know I can't seem to get the later versions working on a Raspberry Pi, but most of my work here is on the laptop, and I have switched over to using the latest Blender to do my video editing of my Blender 2.79 videos. So just seems like the time I should just switch over and start just focusing on the latest version only. So going forward, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to review my catalog of all the videos I have produced for 2.79, and if I feel like it's necessary to bring that content over, then I'll do that. For example, the speed control effect strip is the next one I'll be working on in the new Blender, and then we'll move on from there. Okay, so with that said, before we end, I did want to show you a few things that I've picked up that I think are maybe useful to some of you. The first one is a conceptual thing and probably only useful to people that use a webcam as they screencast, but who knows, maybe other people can get something out of it too. Okay, and then the second one is how you can take some animations and flip them within the same strip. So let's get started with the first one. You can see on my screen here, I have a video loaded up, and what it is a recording that I did using OBS, where I've captured my screen, and then on the side I have my webcam. And let me flip over to OBS right now. You can see, okay, you got the hall of mirrors here, but you can see how this is working, where I've got my video capture device, right? That's my webcam, and I can move that around. So I've purposely positioned it over all the way beyond and not overlapping with the screen capture, which is this piece here. And to allow for that within the settings, if I go into the video settings, you can see here my desktop screen right now is set up for 1280 by 720. So I gave a little bit extra here to allow for the webcam component. So now I'm recording at 1600 by 720. And then once I bring that into Blender, if I scroll down to the bottom here, let's see now, where would that be? Okay, actually no, it's over up here. So you can see there's the dimensions, 1600 by 720. And what I will do then is I go into the properties and I change this to what it really should be, which is 1280 by 720. And at first it just looks like what you do is you end up kind of squishing it sideways. But after making that change, you go over here and you click on image offset, and then now you are looking at it with the correct scaling. So now all we see is just what was recorded from the desktop. So at this point, you make a few extra changes. So the first thing you can do is make a copy of your video strip. So I can go to strip and I can say duplicate. Where is it? There we go, duplicate strips. So click that and then just position that directly over top, so you can press the letter Y to lock it to the Y axis. There we go. Left click to set that. So now I've got two strips. So this will be used as what was being recorded on the screen. So to help keep things straight in your head, in my head, I like to call this, the desktop recording or something like that. And then the copy that we made, I call this webcam, because that's what it is. And then, so image offset is already set. Image crop is what we need to enable next. and we need to cut off the desktop portion of it. I know it was supposed to be 1280, so if I type 1280 here, that should trim off that bit, and then now you can see my webcam recording. And then I think it was 320 in height, so if I say off of the bottom we want 720 minus 3, actually minus 480, I think. Yeah, okay, so you have to remember what you had set the webcam dimensions to be, so to get that amount. So now I've got just the webcam, and then I've got the checkerboard background, and to be able to see through it, we just need to set blend to overdrop. And there it is. So this is basically how I've been preparing my videos. And of course, because we have image offset enabled, which was a requirement to get the scaling correct, we can also position this wherever we want. So this is great for someone like me. I know with OBS, you can use hotkeys and things to change the scene and do funky things like that. But most of the time I'm too focused on my work. So having it set up like this, I can treat the webcam as its own source, even though it's all coming from the same video file. And you know, as the video progresses, I can do things like I can change the X position if I wanted it to be like, at one point I want it to be in the middle. I can do something like this, right? I can position it wherever I want over time, and it's been working great for me. So here's my first thing I wanted to show you, like how you can take a video and cut it into multiple pieces, and then you can arrange them on the screen as you like. The second thing is about mirroring keyframes. So let me switch over to this other scene I have set up. And if I hit the play button, you'll see what we've got is just a simple text text strip that has a simple animation here. Now, I got this idea from when I started working with the new Blender. It has that new fade in, fade out feature, and I thought, well, that's really cool. So you can, it'll do the fade in, and then it does the exact opposite at the end. And you know, I started thinking, wouldn't it be great if we could do that with other kinds of things besides just animating the opacity? And you can. So let me show you. And in fact, you can do it for more than just a single thing. If I wanted to, I could, in addition to animating the Y position, I could also animate opacity. Let me do that now. I'm going to go up to opacity, and I will set it to 0, press I to set that keyframe, press the up arrow to get to the point where we had the Y position animated. Okay, now I set that to 1, keyframe that. So now if I just scrub here, you can see that it is, as it's going up, it slowly becomes fully opaque. Okay, now here's where we can flip that animation. So I go into the graph editor, and as we can see here, these are the different things that have been keyframes. We've got the Y position is over here, and then the blend is this, is the purple thing going from 0 to 1. And here's how you do this. Step 1, you make sure that all of the different keyframes are selected, and they are. So we can see because of the coloring here, they've all got the orange boxes. But if they're not, you can just press A once or twice to make sure they're all selected. Now once they're all selected, you can go to the key menu and find the copy, there it is, copy keyframes, or it's just Control-C. Click on that. Now, you go to the end of your strip. So I'll just hit the page up. There we go, so that's the end of my strip. And now, without touching anything else, you can either press Control-V or go back into the key menu and say Paste Keyframes. Now you can see things have changed over here. Let me just stretch that out so you can see what's going on. So it has pasted the keyframes exactly as they are, but that's actually not that useful to us because it'll make it look weird. So we need one extra step, and that is to go to Key and then Mirror, and then this first option, by times over current frame. So once I click on that, then it flips it over at that point in time. So now it'll look exactly as I had described. So we're gonna get the animations the way we had designed them, and then near the end, it'll reverse it, it'll back it out. Okay. So I thought that was really cool, and I want to share that with you. All right, so that's it for this series on how to edit videos in Blender 2.79. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you do, please do give it a like and subscribe. I won't be doing any more 2.79 content, but I am going to continue producing videos on how to edit videos in Blender, the new Blender. So 2.91 I think is where we're at right now. Again, thanks for watching. Bye now.